Hey ya hey, way ya hey ya hey ya, way ya hey ya hey, hey ya hey ya hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Way hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey. Leftahor prali Elohim ורוח נכון חדש בקרבי אל תשליכני מלפניך ורוח קודשך אל תיקח ממני. Way ya, hey ya, way ya, hey ya, hey. Woohoo!
So good.
Oh.
Just feeling everything line up and come in.
And that's exactly the meaning of this prayer, of this song. It's the lifting of your heart, the unconditional, pure heart. And our theme today is to soar with unlimited vision. And I've got Jennifer here, who actually is going to be taking on her spiritual name that her nieces gave you, right?
Yes,
nieces and
actually,
nephews.
Yeah, Justin, my nephew, gave this name to me, and it's Jempiner. Jempiner. Jempiner.
So after back-to-back 4 nights of ayahuasca, she's owning that name. How old is Justin?
He is about to be 8.
8 years old.
I know.
Gave Jennifer her spiritual name.
So love them.
From now on, if you come across this beautiful woman, you want I'll just tell you about name changes is that in 1999, I was living at Integral Yoga Ashram, and that's where I got my name Parashakti, under the lineage of Swami Satchidananda. And it's a game changer.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's really about you stepping into this next evolution of your soul.
Yes.
Which is exactly what we're here to talk about. So this is your second time at Rythmia.
It is. Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot of juiciness.
Always.
As you can see with her, lots of juiciness, and she's going to go into that juiciness. What struck me is what happened and conspired the first time you were here. So why don't you share from when you were here first and then now?
Okay. Well, my husband actually found this place for me. So I attended Rythmia February 2020, like right before the world shut down, like none of us knew. And I came here by myself, which I've traveled the world, but you know, I faced my anxieties and I stepped out and I came here, and the community here is just so beautiful and loving. And I was scared, like, you know, the unexpected, like the unknown, and going into, you know, the ceremonies, the classes, the breath work, everything, the food, I mean, everything. It really changed my life. The first night was scary. The second night was great. And then the next night was, I don't remember. And this, so, but going home, it brought me here, and it really put my life into perspective. And, you know, I had to do something really crazy because my soul was calling me to do that. But I ended up leaving my husband, and I packed all of my shit. I knew something really big was happening. Like, not only like my soul, you know, was saying, okay, this dark shit is not going to happen anymore. And so, but there's something much bigger. And I just packed my shit and I went to Colorado. And I was there 3 weeks, and we ended up reconciling and really coming together. And I saw his childlike nature and the joy and the happiness, and we were able to reconnect. And it was just God sent.
Right.
Truly God sent.
Right.
And so this time, my husband actually came with me, and wow, like, and again, like, we're all on our own journey, and so he has had his own experience, which is unlike mine, of course. But also, like, no one's ever going to love me except me, and knowing that, and just instead of like, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't experience that. I'm not going to give that energy into that. Like, it's a cry for love. Yeah. All of that. Like, when you experience people that, are in the dumps or whatever they're going through in a negative aspect, I now choose, because I remember who the fuck I am, like, I'm going to shine that love. Like, whatever comes out of me is going to come back. Like, I'm only in control of myself, and I love myself so much. So much. And it encourages everyone else to love their self. Like, it's just this perpetual motion, all of these pieces moving together. And that's the joy and the magic here at Rythmia. Like, literally, like, I'm not being paid. Like, I'm not. Like, I love this place. Like, it should be fucking mandatory for every man, woman, child, I don't care how old you are, to come and take this medicine, this sacred medicine from our ancestors that's so old. And it puts things into perspective, just like COVID did, right? Yes. Like, it put everything into perspective. And the medicine does exactly that. The community, like the love, like, you literally step into a vortex here.
Yes. So talking about this vortex, and now that you're here with your husband and under the umbrella of our love,
yes.
For people who are married and also for people who aren't married, can you speak to even more the relationship of the fine-tunement of coming together, doing the medicine, seeing with new eyes that rebirth of each other, because you saw, as you said so beautifully, first and foremost, the love of yourself?
Yeah. And I mean, he noticed too, because when I first attended Rythmia by myself, I went home and I'm like, fuck this. Like, I don't need that. Like, I need my partner. I need someone to go through life with. And it really, I mean, if he could have said a word, is like, knock me over with a feather, like, and it's perfect for what we're talking about now, like the wings and soaring and all of that. And so there are signs everywhere if you just slow down and listen and just come back here, come into your heart. And that's where I choose to live. And that's where I choose every moment. I live my life so intentionally. Like, from the moment I wake up, I'm like, thank you, God. Like, thank you. What are we getting into today? And I think you teach people how to treat you, and even if they treat you bad, like, my husband's driving drives me crazy. Right. But like, I give him so much love, because if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I mean, I'm not in control here. Like, I signed up to come for this moment and to be in this present moment and to anchor down and be the love that I am, and I'm seeing it in him. I am so seeing it in him. So yeah, it's magic.
So let's talk about last night. For those who are new, because I know that there's some of you that are with us every week, and thank you so much for being with us. Thursday night is the all-nighter. And so this beautiful woman has, have you slept at all?
No
like,
sleep. But I'm like, incredibly, like, I'm so rejuvenated. I really like had a rebirth. I'm completely new. And the last night we start a little later because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we start at 5:30. And then last night we start at 7:30, but we got to the Maloka, and there's this big major preparation, bringing and calling forth that energy into the sacred space. It's all sacred, it doesn't just wham, bam, like the quick and easy fix. No, it's all intentional and calling forth and anchoring that down. And so, getting to your mat and just, connecting with your breath and coming here and just meditating and sending out the gratitude, and talking to Mother, like, what are we getting into tonight? Like, I don't know. And wow, I mean, the Colombian night, what a sacred ceremony, and the medicine. We started for a few hours in the silence, to allow that medicine to come into you and almost to take inventory, right? To check all status quos inside of yourself. And everyone's different. Everyone's on their own journey, right? There's purging, there's shitting, there's like, there's all of it, but who cares? Who cares? Like, drop all of, the judgments, drop all of that. And, we're really here to go inside and focus. And man, it went by so fast. And I mean, my visions last night, my goodness gracious, because I laid there for a while and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little nauseous. Like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the dang thing. And so I purge and I'm like looking in my bucket and I'm like, what are you? And it's like this octopus and this crab. And it was like my guide for the night, and so then I start elevating and I go through the clouds and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling okay. Like, I'm laying down and I start shaking, and like the thing that came to my mind was like the baby bird, the mother like regurgitating into the bird's mouth, right? And I'm just like violently shaking, almost like Mother was shaking out of me what I didn't need anymore. And just the natural and the loving feeling, like going back to the place where we're going back to, what we always remember. It's just incredible. Like, words don't do it justice, like at all. And some people are like, okay, I've never done ayahuasca. This lady's woo woo. It's not woo woo. It's so special. It's so sacred.
Yeah, I love the imagery of the rebirth and how you shared with this baby bird. And so with this baby bird now that you cultivate in your heart, that you have so deeply inside of you, how are you going to spread your wings home?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm really looking forward to everything that's going to transpire, from now, weeks and months and years until my next visit, to Rythmia, because I would love to come back. I know I will come back. But just that anchoring into myself, it's just like another layer, like what the shamans talk about, like the mandala, how it really opens up. And the more that you lay that foundation and you go there, you have your journey. It was almost like when I purge, that's like my launching pad, right? And so you really need to be so clean to be able to raise your vibration so high to go up there and meet all of our ancestors and our loved ones, and to have that experience. Like, there's no forgetting it. Like one of my gurus at home, Rebecca, she literally says, okay, honey, well, the girdle doesn't fit anymore. And so that when there's no forgetting it, there's nothing. And so it's only up from here, right? And we're here for the human experience, right? But we're all connected, everything, nature, and everything is so connected. And so like with the wings, because in my visions, I was seeing these like beautiful white wings carrying me, and I'm wearing her beautiful necklace, which we're going to have in our crystal shop, just giving her a shout out because she's amazing. It is like the purity and just the surrendering, because when you go into the Maloka, when you go visit with Mother Ayahuasca, you're not in control. Right. And when you try to control, like, she's going to show you where you need to release, right? And so just give it over already, right? And so all of the fears, like, I was telling you, I feel like I was really a shaman in another life. And so I'm fine to walk in the dark. Like, I'm a natural hermit. I love to be by myself. I'm all for going into the deep, dark closet and grabbing the boogeyman by the hand and walking him out into the light, because it's like what came to me in my vision, maybe on Brad's brew. it's like your fear is ultimately the doorway into love, because we're here for the human experience, and for us to even appreciate that, we have to have that fear, right?
Yes.
But it transmutes and it changes when you look it in the face, like, hey, snuggle up to me.
Mhm.
And no, this like did not happen overnight. Like, this has been years and years of soul searching and going within, which my background is hair and makeup productions, and I always said, like, if I were Miss America and I was up on the stage, like, yes, I wish for world peace, but I wish for everyone to be the best version of themselves. Choose every moment. We get to choose. Go within. Like, whatever comes out of you, that energy that comes out of you, you're pulling that back to you in ways, subtle ways, big ways, like whatever. And it all, like, I'm so in love with life. I'm so in love with myself. I'm so in love with everything.
And so with that, I would say that when one falls in love with themselves, they truly can soar with unlimited vision.
Absolutely.
So may that be our mantra for today. And as you see, this woman is infectious with her energy, with her wings of great soaring flight. And it's always such an honor to be here with you. So thank you for joining. Is there any last thing that you would like to move and shake and share with the world?
Oh my gosh, just go for it. Like, don't be afraid. And if you're afraid, use that as an opportunity. Like, go grab it. Like, go love on it. Love on yourself. Like, it's like mankind is literally on the cusp. Once we figure out like the energy that we're using, like, we don't have to use friction to start the fire. We can start the fire with our energy. Like, start it, like, command that shit. Like, you are in control. Command that shit. Do it. I mean, yeah, like, I'm going to have a shitty day, and I'm not too proud to say, like, hey, look, I'm having a shitty day. Like, I'm going to call my friends. I'm going to call my best friends, and they're going to pull me out of it. They're going to help me. And then I'm going to really just completely catapult into another dimension. And then when, my friends are down, like, you're going to pull each other up. That's what we're here for. We're here to remind each other of the love that we are.
Oklahoma is so lucky to have this woman, because that's where she was born. That's where she's opening up her healing center.
Yes.
So find this woman, because she and her husband are stepping into some big wings of flight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are open, so come and fly with us. Woo-hoo. Aho!